Man, thank God I can't see any of you. Imagine for a moment that you are a math teacher. You're energetic, you're dynamic, you're teaching projects, you're teaching problems, it's awesome. And then suddenly, your principal comes to you and says, hey man, I need you to teach Algebra 2. Now, Algebra 2 is great, but man, it's got some arcane standards like long division of polynomials. This is the favorite topic of no one ever. Faced with the prospect of having to teach us, you might talk to this guy. Meet Jeff Kroll, the NTN math coach. He's brilliant. But despite his brilliance, there might be some standards so esoteric that not even he can come up with applications. I speak from experience when I say that this is enough to make you want to tear out your hair. As schools often try and come up with applications for their math classes by combining them with other classes. This has worked, but sometimes there have been some awkward attempts at marriage. One marriage that didn't last too long, biology and algebra 1. Wouldn't it be great if there were a math class that was nimble enough to combine with other classes all the time? There is. The name of it is statistics. I suggest that statistics marries beautifully to PBL in much the same way that Ozzy has remained married to Sharon for the last 30 years. Statistics is beautiful because it just needs data. It's oh so versatile, you know, like Ozzy. So, the last year, my teaching partner and I integrated statistics with environmental studies, government, economics, and English. We saw it bridge math and the core subjects beautifully. We started talking about collaboration scores. We asked the students, who would you rather collaborate with? Joe, who scores high sometimes, but really low others, or Mary, who has a lower average score, but scores consistently. This is the way that we got at standard deviation. Here was a student's response. Here it comes. I would choose Mary. Mary's range is much lower than Joe's with a range of 10 compared with Joe's range of 35. In addition, the mean from the mean is also fairly compelling. Joe's is a high number compared to Mary's low number. Mary is more reliable as the data shows. In social studies, we asked students to take a look at data from the U.S. Department of Labor. They looked at the distribution of income across households in America. They used this to use statistics to describe the middle class for themselves. In language arts, here's a student response, I'll let you read it. This is timed, you know. Interestingly enough, this student changed his range predicated upon a conversation about buying power in the US. In language arts, we looked at public speaking. Students measured speaking rates of professional public speakers, and they came up with distributions very much like this one, which was handily a bell curve. Students took their own data, created their own bell curve, and then used that to calculate the probability of speeches requiring a certain number of words. This is student work showing information for a speech of about 18 minutes. Her conclusion at the result of this project was, from our calculations, I discovered that the probability of someone speaking for 18 minutes and speaking 3,000 words or more is 0.4139. That's about 41%. What about science? Easy. We came across a British journalist who made the claim global warming has stopped. And look, here's the chart to prove it. Since 1997, no net change in worldwide temperature. But what he didn't include is data from the previous 50 years. But our students did. They took a look at that data, calculated error bars that showed that temperatures since 1997 fit very comfortably in the previous growing trend. Has global warming stopped? Probably not, by their calculations. So, I'm showing you student work so that you can see that students are writing about math. They have to take a look at data and make meaning of data. Just look at the two words that describe the main branches of statistics, descriptive and inferential. Those words would be just as much at home in an English class as they would be in a math class. And that's what students have to do. They have to describe and they have to infer. And therein lies the infrastructure that bridges probability to the other core classes. So, the question is, was it worth it? Absolutely. It was stressful to try and create the integration to begin with, but seeing the applications come to life was oh so satisfying. It was as though math teacher hair had never been pulled out in the first place. So, I want to challenge you with two questions that I ask myself. Number one, how can I best teach statistics at my school? And number two, how can I make the best use of Jeff Kral's head? So, good luck, Godspeed, and God bless mathematics.